Good afternoon. We're going to call today's meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. This meeting is being audio and video recorded for future broadcast. Please silence all cell phones for the duration of the meeting, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on our agenda is our consent agenda, which includes the minutes of April 9th, 2024, as well as payroll and warrants. Those are both included in your packets. So if I could have a motion of approval. Oh, sorry, we have to roll call vote and vote. Sorry.
Mrs. Downing?
Yes.
Mrs. Bones?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mr. Howcroft?
Yes.
Ms. Padera?
Yes. Thank you. So if I could have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of April 9th, 2024, and payroll and warrants as part of the consent agenda.
Make that motion to approve the minutes.
Second. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and it doesn't look like we have anyone on delegation this evening, so we'll move past that item. We have no old business tonight, moving into new business, and I'll pass it over to Tom.
First up, we want to discuss the Fort Middle School Civic Action Project, and I would just ask Mrs. Sylvia to come to the podium to talk about the project.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the school committee, Dr. Bailey. So it is we had some students in the volleyball game one. I had some students who are listed who played volleyball today. Other students who are listed are playing baseball today. So it is just me today. But on the agenda, we have the Students' Civics Action Projects. Each 8th grader is required to do one. The Student Showcase at Bridgewater State University, May 28th. We have about 7 or 8 students attending with Miss Bentley. I will be going, and Mr. Gary will be going as well. And then on the 31st, we're going to have our own Student Showcase here at Ford. It aligns to the district strategy. So by completing a student-led civics project, students will, all of those bullet points, develop and practice civic skills, become more academically engaged, develop and practice social emotional skills, conduct inquiries, and determine next steps. There's a few others. The project will help them understand how do you effectively foster civic agency? What does democratic citizenship look like in action? What does it mean to be an informed, thoughtful, and active citizen? So Desi was excited to work with the 8th through 12th graders. There are 3 science fair civics showcases. The closest to us was Bridgewater State College. You did have to apply, and we were accepted. At first, they only wanted us to bring one team of 2, but Miss Bentley pushed them. And I think we're bringing 4 teams of 2 or 3 teams of 2, a team of 3. So local community advisors will be there, will receive feedback on their work, and be recognized for their civic engagement. Miles, Kyle, Tyler, Gianna, Braylon, Augusta, Norlin, and Alexis will be there. Miles, Tyler, and Kyle are presented on the food insecurity in Bristol County. Braylon and Augusta, problems of intolerance and incivility as determined by online discussions. I put the little definition there. And the platform that you can hide behind a keyboard and be a keyboard warrior, and what you say may not hurt somebody, but in the end it may hurt somebody. Mental health awareness, Gianna. Safety in public spaces for women and girls. Norlin and Alexis will be presenting on that. So our civic showcase, May 31st, it will be in the morning after drop-off. Parents will be invited to come in and walk around. Our 7th graders will also tour and ask questions. So we have some other topics. Bycatch awareness is where there is fishing, you may accidentally catch something else. Dangers of electric cars, abolish homework, veteran homelessness, anti-vaping, amending the dress code, plastic pollution within our oceans, the potholes in Acushnet, road safety in Acushnet, more student voice and choice, Inhumanity to Animals, and I do believe one of them is about, maybe it's the extracurricular that I know Patrick McIntyre was asked for his feedback on that and his part in all that, the collecting information. Questions? So you're all invited on May 31st. You are invited also to Bridgewater State University as a community advisor, if you can attend.
I did send an email out to you about that, but we are extremely proud of our students and the work that they are doing on this project. So I want to thank you for presenting on this.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sylvia.
Great.
Okay. Next, I want to go to the adoption of the FY25 budget, and I would ask you to refer to the business manager's report, which is section 1, but really on page 2. Tonight, I will be looking for a motion for you to adopt and vote on the FY25 budget. We're looking for a 2.09% increase, and it's a total of $16,393,663. And you'll see on that second page, there are some changes based on the fact that we did have some tuitions come up that we had to account for, and some other deductions. But overall, we have a level service budget, and we're really proud of that in these times. We've worked really hard, and I want to thank Mrs. Gomes and Mr. Halcroft for their work on this budget. We put in quite a bit of hours to be sure that we have level services for our students for next year. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but tonight I would need a vote to adopt the FY25 budget for $16,393,663. And that's a decrease from $236,519 that was presented at the most recent public hearing, based on these things that I just mentioned. So,
Can you give that number one more time?
the actual number,
Yes, please.
$16,393,663. And do you want the previous figure?
No, I just.
Okay. That reflects an increase of 2.09%.
Questions or comments on the budget?
I guess I would maybe, I don't know if Mr. Gomes or Mrs. Gomes or Mr. Halcroft wanted this comment, since you were part of that.
So basically, to make things short and sweet, we realized that there were needs that the town, we needed to meet town needs. And so we worked very hard with the leadership team and Dr. Bailey and Patrick McIntyre and getting it to a place where the town could accept it for us, and hopefully we're staying level serviced, and our kids should strive with this budget, and hoping that next year we have a little bit more funds to work with. So next year we can get the things that we really want in our budget, as we weren't able to get it this year.
And I just want to mention too, the principals were very involved in this, because, they get the information from the teachers and staff, and then we get it from them, and we work together on that. So this is where we're at. But I think in these tough times, I think the fact that we're able to provide level services at this point, if the town agrees, would be great for our students.
I was confident with that budget, confident that it would fulfill the educational needs, of our students. I don't see any gaps that would cause us to be, have some real concerns. I think that we're really, moving ahead, and and for efficiency, having quality in our instruction area. So I'm very confident with this budget.
And if we felt the need that we needed to push harder because of the things that we need, we absolutely would.
We will always advocate, and even if things change, this is a snapshot in time at the moment, but as you know, tuitions change. There's many variables with the school budget, so we will always advocate for the needs of the students and the staff in our district.
And just to add one more thing, we are approving, or hopefully we will approve this budget as a committee. However, we still have time before town meeting. So if, like Dr. Bailey says, if things change, if funds become available or anything like that, we'll be able to adjust at town meeting with the town members' votes.
I just don't anticipate that. We
No.
got an email today from the state, and it doesn't look as though we're getting any additional funding, unfortunately. But you're right, if anything changes, we will certainly bring it back to the committee. I know the town is looking at a town meeting date now of June 17th. But, you know, if you vote to adopt this budget, we can plan for things, you know, accordingly.
All right, so if I could request a motion, please, to approve the FY '25 budget in the amount of $16,393,663 as proposed.
So moved.
I'll second it.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I do have a couple of other things that have come to light before after the agenda was passed. First, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our teachers and staff. We have our Staff Appreciation Week this week, and we're so happy and proud to be celebrating that with them. Of course, we appreciate our staff each and every day, but this is just a nice week to come together and show them how much. And I also want to give a huge shout out to our PTO, because they provide us with endless goodies all week, and I know it's very much appreciated by the staff. So that was the first thing. Also, I want to make you aware, we just got notified that we are the recipients of another grant for the Vacation Acceleration Academies grant for $69,000 total. FY24 award was $25,000, and FY25 for the summer program is $44,000. So we'll be busy working on that again. And the last thing, and I don't know if you want to do it now during my report or if you want to do it during the school committee member reports, but I do know that Mrs. Gomes is leading us in the charge for the regionalization study, and I know she has some updates for us. So if we want to do that now, that's fine. If not, we can do it during the school committee reports.
Yeah, no, I think we should talk about it now. Yeah.
So I spoke with Jim Hardy from Mask, and he was the gentleman that helped me 9 years ago when we did our original potential regionalization study. And our first step is to create a committee with all stakeholders. So the recommendation, just like it was a decade ago, is to make sure that we have parents, teachers, school administrators, local government, students, and community members at large. So you have a form that I passed out, or that Kathy passed out to you. My recommendations with talking with Jim, I had recommended for parents and guardians, 2 parents, 1 from each school. Again, this is all up for negotiation and discussion, so that sounds so good. Teachers, at least 1 teacher from each school. School administrators, our superintendent, our business manager, local government, either a selectman or a finance committee member or both, whatever we see fit. And then for students, at least an 8th grade student I think would be good to just have on there, just so they can see what we're talking about, as well as an Acushnet high school student.
So do you want a current 8th grade student this year?
Right, and then
Okay.
it would just change every year to get their opinions, you know, because this is a big deal and this is going to be affecting them. Of course, this probably won't come to fruition, if it does at all, 5-6 years from now, right? So again, it's just getting the student's perspective. Like I said, the 8th grade and a high school student I think would be nice. And again, that can be interchanging. Right now, we're just voting on the what's the word?
The structure of
The structure of the committee, yes. There's also business leaders that we could add on here if the committee sees fit. But I thought too many people are probably not going to be as effective. So I'm thinking around 10 people total for this committee. So again, the 2 parents, the 2 teachers, which is 4, superintendent and business manager, and a school committee member, right? So 7, and then a finance committee or selectmen, 8, and then the 2 students, from a high school student and an 8th grader, and if we want to add an extra space for the 11th, because the students might not be able to make them, that would be helpful. So, any comments? Anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty well-rounded what you have for representation. I don't have any other suggestions.
And again, what will happen is once we agree to this structure, I'll send out notification to everyone through the help of Dr. Bailey. We can publish it on our Facebook pages, and we'll get letters of intent. We'll request letters of intent as well as possibly resumes, depending on what the situation is. And then I'll come together, choose the top people, and then come back to discuss it with the committee members for an official vote of who's going to be on this committee. And again, it's a long-term commitment because it is going to take quite some years for it to come to fruition, if it even does. Right now, our first step is to find the schools that we'd like to work with, and then find a grant to pay for the study, to do it, to work with whatever school district we decide to work with.
So when we say 2 parents, if there were 2 parents, if we didn't have a parent from each school, could we just say, ideally it's 1 parent from each school?
Right, exactly. Flexibility, we want to make sure parents are there, we want to make sure that teachers and staff members, if it's not, if we only have like 1 teacher and there's a staff member that wants to join, I feel like there will be a lot of people that want to be a part of this, so the more the merrier to take a look at, and then we can whittle things down to a committee that's efficient and effective.
And when you said 1 school committee member, that is in addition to your chair.
Correct.
So it's
In addition to 2, because technically this is a school committee subcommittee, so we can't have 2 members.
Right. So
It's
you're
important.
looking for a vote tonight on the structure.
Just on the
Just on the
structure.
structure. But it is important to note, though, that it will be a formal subcommittee, so there'll be, we'll be required to be taking minutes, and
Yep, and it'll have to
meetings
be
will need to be
So
public meetings.
posted, correct, yep. All of this will have to have, we'll have to have a secretary to do the notes and the minutes and things like that. And we'll have to have a quorum as well for each of the meetings.
All right, so the lots to do with this, obviously, but the first step is to get the structure in place. So if I can request a motion, please, to approve the proposed stakeholder makeup of the Acushnet Public Schools Regionalization Committee.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have tonight, thank you.
All right, are there any other reports by school committee members? If so, I'd like to welcome them this time. Oh, we have our business manager's report, I'm sorry, I
I
skipped
don't
over that.
think, were you
We
planning
have
to
a-
present tonight?
It's up to you,
Well, I
but
skipped over the agenda.
I went over a lot of the information that's in his report. If you do want to hear any more about food service or facilities, you can definitely go up to the podium, it's up to you.
Okay,
I don't want
yeah, we have a lot of business ahead of us,
Yeah,
so.
no offense.
No offense.
Not that you're not supporting.
We do also have your report that we.
Yeah, we already reviewed it.
Yeah, we have reviewed, so, next time. All right, so, do want to point out, there's also a number of communications outlined in our packet, so please do make sure you review those when you have a moment. And we do have executive session tonight, if I could request a motion, please, to adjourn into executive session, and this will be not to return to open session. And executive session tonight is to discuss the following: conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Can I have that motion, please? I'll make a motion. Okay.
Second.
Second, and we'll take a roll call vote.
Mrs. Downing?
Yes.
Mrs. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes. Thank you.